Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another edition of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's. And this is the first one that I've done that is like on location. Yeah, it's not in my little room sitting down with a load of stuff. And the reason being is this one's more about pirate radio. And because just in its essence, pirate radio is a very secretive thing, I can't always draw an actual receipt. I mean, I could get tapes out, recorded tapes of these times, but it's not the same. So now and again, when I find myself somewhere where there's a story attached, rather than putting it on the Run Come Follow Uncle Doug's thing because I'm here, I think some of these should probably go on this channel. So firstly, as always, thank you for all the likes and comments and subscribes. Today I'm here, yeah. Now these tower blocks are the only ones remaining on an estate. Let me just turn that back round. So those tower blocks are the only ones really that are left remaining on an estate in Barking called the Gascoigne estate. And the reason I'm here today is because I thought I'd give you a little tale about something that happened on this estate in about, must have been about 2002, I reckon. So it weren't back in the 90s, it was the rinse era of my life. But before I talk to you about that, a little bit about the Gascoigne estate. So obviously I'm from Dagenham, as all you probably know by now. Barking and Dagenham is one borough. It's two sort of places split, but it's one borough. And I don't think it's too bad. I mean, everything has been demolished over here like everywhere. It's all new build flats. It all looks lovely over here now, apart from these blocks that are left at this end, which I'm assuming will be next. But oh, that one's already empty, so there you go. So they are going there anyway. But in the 90s and 2000s, if Barking and Dagenham had a naughty corner, the Gascoigne estate, I mean, there were some naughty little places in Barking and Dagenham, especially back in the 90s. Yeah, I think the Gascoigne would probably take the crown. There was like drugs and violence, and every law you want to break was happening on this estate. A lot. Do you know what I mean? A lot. But for pirate radio, of course, that's like a breeding ground, isn't it? Because while all the other stuff's going on, no one's really questioning much because they've all got their own stuff. So you can sort of go unnoticed more than you can, let's say, in a private block of flats where everyone's sort of looking out for each other's stuff because that's the life they've got going on. So you understand what I mean? Like, when you're up to no good, you don't want to make any ripples in the pond, do you? When your pond is lovely and calm anyway, you don't want no one to put a ripple in your pond. So I guess that's one way of putting it. But anyway, so the Gascoigne estate, 2002. We've had studios over here, all the conflict through the 90s, the conflict days. We had studios in these blocks and aerials on top of them. I can't remember many of the names, but this particular story, like I say, was from about 2002. And even though it does involve us as a station, it wasn't actually us that did the thing that I'm going to talk about. So anyway, what happened was when the DTI used to go out, so they would go out and do areas because obviously they were on limited resources. Even though they had a lot more resources than us, they was on limited resources, so they didn't have like 10 vans going out in all different directions every day. So they would head off into a direction. So for instance, we're in Barking, so maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon the first station would get cut off in Southend or out that way, and then it would be Basildon, and then it might be Grays or Tilbury, and all the way back in, right the way through Rainham, into Dagenham, into Barking, and then by then it'd probably be the end of their working day. So you'd kind of get an idea that they were working their way towards you. Now, what happened on this particular occasion and on this particular day, I'm not going to name who the people were because I don't want to bait them up. But I will say the station, and you can decipher for yourself if you think it might be or it might not be. But anyway, I will just say there was a station called Flavour FM, yeah, and a couple of the guys that were associated with Flavour at that time, who I'm going to be talking about today. I'm assuming they wouldn't give a shit if I said their names, but I haven't spoke to them, and I don't want to, families. I don't know what people know about what they. Yeah. Anyway, that's not important. They'll be cool with it, but things are proper, aren't they? So basically, the DTI had been working their way in from Southend, and we was actually on Faxted House in Dagenham at the time, Rinse FM. And so by the time they got to us, I think we did lose a transmitter that day, but that was, by the time it's got to us, and we'd spoke to our friend at Force FM at the time, whose name I won't mention again. I think he went under, I won't say his name because I don't know what he's doing in life again now. He might be doing something super legal and not want people to know about this. But anyway, the guy that run Force FM, they were in somewhere like I don't know, they was in Romford over that kind of way. We was in Dagenham. So he rung us and said, oh, I've just been cut off. And while we was talking to him, we got cut off, so we know they're on their way. Now, the next place along after that would have been the Gascoigne estate, where we are right now. Unbeknown to us, the guys that were involved, as I say, with Flavour FM, who were friends of ours, one of them in particular, I've known all my life since I was a kid. And they obviously knew what was going on as well. So what they did was they drove to the Gascoigne estate. This is one of my favourite pirate stories, honestly. They drove to the Gascoigne estate, and when the DTI pulled up downstairs at the block to go upstairs to take the transmitter off, they broke into the DTI's van and stole all the transmitters, all the LMBs, everything that they're taking, and the laptop, yeah? Not just all the equipment that you'd need to run the pirate, the laptop as well. So we don't know none of this is going on, do you know what I mean? We're just oblivious to this. We've just had our transmitter took. We're thinking, how are we going to get back on? So my phone rings, and it's the guy that I know from the station saying to me, Doug's, we've just nicked the DTI's laptop, which we was assuming would have all of the information they had about us on it. Because you got to think, like, we were breaking the law, obviously it was a cat and mouse thing, and they compiled records on all of us. They took photos, they had videos. I'll go into all of these stories over time. We'll get through all of these, but it wasn't a joke. They wanted to put us in prison back then. That was their main aim. Stop what we're doing, put us in prison, teach the others a lesson. So my mates had the laptop, innit? So they've rung us up, and they're like, we got the laptop, we want 600 quid for it. So I rung my matey at False FM in Essex, and we were going to go 300 quid each. And we was going to get someone to break the code on the laptop and see what they knew, find all their files and all that, yeah? But in between them getting the laptop, me ringing my mate, all of us lot getting together, me, G, Slim at the time, it would have been all of us lot all together, all thinking what we're going to find. So it would have probably only been maybe half hour tops. My mate who got the laptop, who stole the laptop in the first place and all the transmitters, got a phone call from Peter Goodins, who was the head of the DTI at the time, yeah, directly to his mobile phone, his personal one, not the radio one, saying to him his real name. He picked the phone up, and Peter Goodins said to him, blah blah blah, we know that you've took the transmitters, and we know that you've took our laptop. We don't give a fuck about the transmitters. Bring our laptop back now, or we're coming to your house. So before we even got our hands on it, he had to concede defeat, because he was living a normal life. We was all young back then. I think back then times he was actually living with his nan, if I remember correctly, and the other one was just building a life with his new missus. So you know what I mean, you don't want that all round your gaff, do you? So they had to give the laptop back, and we never did get our hands on it. And we know, it could have been a laptop with nothing on it, but I'm assuming because the way that it went down, like, I'm talking within 30 minutes, they had my man's private phone number, and they were saying to him, we will come to your house now, this is the address, bring back the laptop now, we know it was you, we don't care about the transmitter, all the other stuff, keep it, bring the laptop back. So that goes to show whatever was on there, you know what I mean, would have helped us and not them. So yeah, these are the small blocks. Back in the day, they had grey ones over here that were up that end of the estate, like that end. And they was a lot higher. I think these ones may be a 12th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think they're 12th floor. And then the other ones were 16s. All the grey ones were 16 floors. And like I say, it wasn't, let me turn it back round. Yeah, like I say, it wasn't just that one story. We all, as pirates, I mean, there was one time we had a roof over here, and Kick FM, which was the station that kind of Weekend Rush turned into when Rush folded, I remember them being on the roof next to us and shouting across the roof to each other while we were putting aerials up back in the day. That was with the Jacko brothers and Spud. That was that era there. But yeah, man, like I say, from Conflict to Rinse especially, a hell of a lot of my pirate stories come from Barking and Dagenham. Some are in Bow, some are in Limehouse, some are wherever, and we will get through all of them over time. But today's one is dedicated to Rinse FM, Flavour FM, False FM, and the nearly stolen, nearly cracked laptop, which was about 2002. All right, so yeah, plenty more of these to come. Like I said, I'll be doing some of these on location ones along the way, not loads, because I'm not going to drive anywhere to do them, but whenever I go past anywhere I think, oh, there's a story there, I'll pull up and we do the story. All right, so thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave your comments in the box. Anything at all that you feel is relevant to these stories, this one or any of the others, please comment in the box. I read them all and I reply to all of them. So yeah, big up yourselves. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Peace out of you.